Hello, friends. So, this is the second part of Chapter 5, Gender Identity, in the book A Necessary Chaos. And in the last video, we last left off with the positive masculine and feminine energy attributes. So, in this video, we're going to begin with the negative masculine and feminine energy attributes. This is a list of the masculine energy negative attributes: aggression, control, abuse, dominance, weak, angry, reckless, unstable, cowardice, indecisive, boastful, intimidated, abuse of power, avoidance, unsupportive. This is a list of the feminine energy negative attributes: neediness, manipulation, jealousy, victimhood, selfish, powerlessness, impatient, blame, sabotaging, withholding, codependency, over-emotional, despair, fearful, oversensitive. At different times and different situations, it's sometimes easier to allow more of the positive masculine and feminine attributes within to shine in one's life. And at other times, in other situations, it's sometimes easier to allow more of the negative or wounded masculine and feminine attributes to come out in one's life until those wounds are healed. Each individual carries all of these attributes within them, and each individual has the choice as to which attributes they will choose to exercise in their life at any given moment. It is essential to recognize and to know when, where, and how each energetic attribute would be most beneficial being applied in one's life in order to achieve balance and harmony within. For instance, if an individual only focuses on their feminine attributes and energy because they were born in a female body, then they are primarily remaining in a receptive mode and mentality, which is not necessarily a bad thing. However, if the individual does not also acknowledge and utilize their masculine attributes and energy within by actively setting and maintaining healthy boundaries, then they may begin to receive or even get stuck in a mode of receiving experiences and things they do not wish to experience. Are you beginning to see where gender identity is actually irrelevant and how it will become unnecessary to define a human being by one gender or the other? That every human being carries both masculine and feminine energies within them? What I was shown in the vision is that this transition out of gender identity is already in progress and will continue until it is no longer an identity at all. The balancing of the masculine and feminine energies are a delicate yet powerful balance within the alchemist being you. The key to mastering your own energy is balancing the feminine and masculine energy within, while allowing yourself to feel all of your emotions whenever they arise, but at the same time, not allowing your emotions to control you or another. When you can balance and master your own energy, then you begin to play and create with the energy that is all around you. But that subject is for another day. When you have achieved wholeness within by balancing both the energies, you will be living in your divine birthright as a conscious creator in harmony with universal consciousness. Therefore, aligning yourself with the highest possible outcomes, the highest possible human experience, the highest possible joy, the highest possible peace, the highest possible love, unconditional love. Not only do you fully align yourself, which creates that feeling of wholeness within that is so desired, But you also inevitably share your divine alignment with those around you, which in turn has an incredible impact and ripple effect into multiple lives, multiple dimensions, multiple realities, and unseen realms. When you achieve wholeness within, you are creating wholeness outside of you. The last thing we have left to discuss regarding the masculine and feminine energies within is the progression of knowledge obtained through the process of our human evolution, or, in other words, our awakening process. The God, the Goddess, the Christ consciousness, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, Egyptian Isis, the divine, the universe, higher power, any title or name you would like to refer to the high consciousness of all that is. All embody masculine and feminine energy, light and dark. Otherwise, they would not be a deity at all. They would be a physical human being going through the ascension process, trying to remember their innate God and Goddess energy within, and learning how to balance them, and then on how to master them so that they can free themselves from the programmed, limited belief systems that have kept them imprisoned and therefore become the creator they are meant to become. An understandable thought process and reaction would more than likely be, well, it takes more than mastering the masculine and feminine energies within to be a deity, and you are correct. A deity is a representation of the divine high consciousness, and so a deity encompasses the masculine and feminine energy, the breath of life and death, the energy that creates and destroys, all that has ever been, all that will ever be, all that is. In Genesis 1, verse 26, then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Verse 27, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. What do you think God was talking about when he said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness"? And then in 27, again, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. The us and our is the masculine and feminine energy. Most religions around the world are based upon this one foundational factor, that divine consciousness is within you, and it is you. It is not outside of you or apart from you. These are a few religious quotes. Nor will they say, "See here" or "See there," for indeed the kingdom of God is within you. Jesus said that in Luke 17:21. A man, and only a man, can become a Buddha. Buddha said that. I have said, ye are gods, Elohim, in the Hebrew text, and all of you are children of the Most High. That was Psalm 82:6. When you are worshiping or honoring a deity, you are worshiping and honoring the deity within you. The ascension process is here to help you to remember this. You are awakening to your own divinity. You are a human being with divine consciousness within you, limited by your humanness while occupying the earthly realm, learning how to overcome your humanness in order to live heaven, which is high consciousness and being, on earth, which is human consciousness and being. In simple terms, This means that you, as a human individual, carries within you everything that a deity carries within them, because we are all representations of divine consciousness. Once you realize this, truly realize this, you will remember your true soul essence and begin to live, breathe, create, and love as so. This part is a live commentary. Although I've been given these words by the divine and I've written this book, it does not mean that I have this mastered. Even as I read these words, I'm thinking to myself, yes, that's exactly the way it should be. That's exactly how we should do it. But I still struggle myself. I struggle a lot sometimes. And then other times I'm just flowing with the divine and all is good, just like every one of you. I'm sure that you can recognize in your life where sometimes you're struggling and other times you're just flowing and everything's great and you're feeling the divinity within you. So I just want you to know that we are all in this together. You know, some of us may flow with the divine more than others at times, but it doesn't mean that someone is better than another person. What it means is that we're all learning. We are all going through this ascension together. We are all learning, and we're doing it in our own lives. We're doing this. You know, you got to give yourself credit for the times where you're pushing through and you're evolving. Give yourself credit for that. It is a hard journey. It is not for the weak, I'm telling you. And I'm sure you can absolutely agree with that. So be easy on yourselves. Be easy on yourselves. It is a journey. It's a long journey to recognize the divinity within us and then to live by it day in and day out. So I just want to add that because sometimes we got to hear those things. Sometimes I have to hear those things. This concludes the Chapter 5, Gender Identity. I'm sending you all lots of love, lots of light, and lots of activation energy.